Well, the day has finally come. It's time to make the equipment cart. So we're going to be trying to make an equipment cart for this guy behind me. This is our box blade, and this thing is 1,400, 1,500 pounds, something like that. So it's pretty heavy. So we need an equipment cart that's heavy enough to move that. And of course, if you're asking yourself why I'm making a cart for it, it's really very simple. In order to move this thing, you have to put it on the tractor right now, which of course means that the only places that I can put it around the barn are places where the tractor can back up to it. This is somewhat restrictive and means that I end up taking up a lot more space around the barn with equipment than if I could just have it on a cart and slide it all into one side and pull it out when I need it and put it on the tractor. So that's the goal here. I've already made one, and we'll take a look at the existing one and see how we're going to do some improvements. But before we do that, we're going to go take a look at the cows, because what is a day out here without taking a look at the cows? And here are the cows. Hydro, taking a whiz. Nicely done. Everybody had to come up apparently to get some water, and of course some treats, which I put out for them a minute or two ago. In case anyone's wondering, the calves are over here. They're doing quite well. Hi guys, how we doing? Calves are over there. That one a little further out there, that's Peaches. She's still a little skittish. Hasn't quite decided if she likes me or not. No? You guys are complaining? Okay, well don't complain too hard. So, all right, you've had your treats. Off you go. And this, of course, is our tiller. And the tiller is on a cart. And so I can actually wheel this thing around the barn right now, which is really quite nice. A couple of things that I'm not a big fan of with my first equipment cart build, though. The first of which, of course, is these wheels. And they're nice. They're plenty strong. They're rated for, if I remember correctly, about 300 pounds a piece. This thing weighs about 1,200 pounds total. Or, excuse me, no, I said that wrong. These are weighted for 500 a piece. And this thing weighs 1,200 total, so there's plenty of, capability in the wheels as far as weight goes, but I wish they were bigger, because when you go to roll along the barn floor, what invariably happens, especially with something like a tiller, is that you have dirt that falls off, and any piece of dirt really becomes something that stops these wheels because they're just not really big. So this is like the problem with a floor jack. Can lift 6,000 pounds, cannot roll over a zip tie. So same kind of problem here. So we're going to try to use some bigger wheels when we make the next one for the box blade. The only other thing that I really want to try to do a little better job of here is my joints around these saddles for the pieces of pipe. We're not very good here, so I'm going to try to see if I can't do a better job welding when I try to put the joints together for the next one. As anyone who has watched any of my videos will be able to attest to, I am by no means any sort of professional welder. I am a hacker-ish welder at best. But if I can get them to hold together, I'm happy. But that's pretty much it. Pieces of pipe, leftover fence pipe, in case you're wondering where I got it. And I did buy these pieces of metal plate and just, put the bolt holes in them to hold the wheels on. So put the pipe together and then weld that metal plate to the corner, and then that makes us a spot for the wheel to go. So we're going to get our new one welded up and see if we can get the new wheels attached to it and see how well it holds the new box blade. And these, of course, are the pieces of pipe that we're going to be turning into the frame for our new equipment cart for the box blade. As you can see, we've got the saddles cut, and we've got a little bit of footage of that we'll show. So we cut those saddles, and one of the things you'll notice is that both of the long pieces actually have joints, coupler joints in the middle of them. Basically, again, we're just using up old fence pipe, and the parts of the fence pipe that I really had no use for were the ends that had the couplers on them, because when you go to put them in the ground, you really don't want, the end of it to be the biggest piece, because that's not so great for, you know, making it snug in the ground. So I never used any of those ends. I always had to cut those off. So here we can use those coupler pieces for the long pieces, you know, put two together and have a nice long piece that we need. And, you know, again, just make some use, get some use out of these old pieces of pipe. Otherwise, I'm going to just have to take them to a junkyard or something. So anyway, that is our frame. We got them all cut. We cut these saddles. And, you know, is it the most perfect saddle cut in the history of saddles? Probably not, but it'll be enough. So we're going to see if we can't get this welded up, and then once this is welded, we'll see about getting the plates for the wheels welded to the corners, and then the wheels go on, and hopefully we can call this thing done. So let's get welding. Well, that should hopefully be it for the welding. It's not so much fun welding when it's super hot out, which I think today it's like 95 and the humidity is up there. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's up there. I know it gets hotter than that here in Texas. We hit 100 plus, but usually when we hit 100 plus, the humidity is gone by then, and I'll take that actually over what it is today. But anyway, at least we're getting close to being done. So these are the wheels that we're going to be using. As you can see, quite a bit bigger than the ones that we had on the other equipment cart. These actually are rated at, what is it, 1,200 pounds a piece or something like that. So way more than is necessary, but I got them simply because I wanted a larger diameter wheel. And these actually, interestingly enough, have grease fittings. So I'm going to go get these greased up, and then we're going to see if we can't get them bolted onto that equipment cart. Well, I'm pretty happy with that. It's holding nicely. With the larger wheels, I can push it pretty decently, and it's just nice. I get to, you know, push it in. I can pull it out when I need to put it behind the tractor, and I don't have to worry about having to park it in a spot where I can always get the tractor in front of it. So everything can be much more compact. I'm trying to tidy up the barn here and compact things so I can get all the equipment on one side if I can. So we'll see how this goes, but no reason to think that it won't hold, but I'll leave it here overnight. Just in case something does fall, it won't fall into anything. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. It's working, and again, scrap metal, right? Scrap metal and a welder, and the only thing I really had to buy was the wheels, and I had to buy the little pieces of, what did I use? 3/8 plate in order to make the plates for the screw holes for the wheels. So that's about it. So not real expensive. I think it cost me a grand total of like $200 in parts and everything. So that's pretty great. I'm happy with that. So that's the end of this long-awaited project. I still have to build two more of these, one for the bucket and one for the grapple. So more of these to build, but I think I'm gonna wait for a day when it's not quite so hot to do the next one. So until next time, we'll see you soon, and I'm gonna go find some air conditioning.